This is the Australian stock market closing report for Tuesday the 3rd of May 2016. It was a volatile day for the market, with corporate announcements from ANZ whipsawing the index in the first part of the session, and the index surging higher after a monetary policy announcement from the RBA in the afternoon. The S&P ASX 200 climbed to multi-month highs, up 111 points or 2.1% to 5,354. The day's trading range was 140 points, with the high of the session at 5,354 and the low of the session at 5,217. Market breadth was significantly positive, with 162 advancing stocks versus 31 declining stocks and 7 stocks unchanged. The financial sector outperformed all other sectors in today's session, closing higher by 3.05%, with ANZ Banking Group leading the charge higher, closing up 5.6%. Lease Group was higher by 4.9%, and National Australia Bank was higher by 3.8%. The Commonwealth Bank and Westpac also benefited from the Reserve Bank of Australia's rate cut, closing higher by 3.7% and 2.3% respectively. The telecommunication services sector was also a strong performer, up 2.2%, with Telstra Corporation closing higher by 2.4%, Focus up by 1%, and TPG Telecom higher by 0.9%. The consumer discretionary sector was also a beneficiary of the rate cut, closing up 2.2%, with Seven West Media closing higher by 5.1%, GUD Holdings closing up 4%, and JB Hi-Fi closing up by 3.9%. In economic news, the Reserve Bank of Australia has cut the cash rate to a record low of 1.75%. RBA Governor Glenn Stevens said, quote, "The board judged that the prospects for sustainable growth in the economy with inflation returning to target over time would be improved by easing monetary policy at this meeting." He said further, quote, "When combined with subdued growth in labour costs and very low inflation globally, the outlook for domestic inflation was lower than previously forecast." In a release from the Australian Bureau of Statistics, approvals for private sector houses rose 2.6% in March, with the approval for the construction of new homes rising 3.7%. However, total approvals were down 6.5% in the 12 months to March, and apartment and townhouse approvals fell 11.5% during the same period. Westpac senior economist Matthew Hassan said, quote, "The underlying picture around approvals ex-high-rise is still looking relatively stable." The 5 most active stocks were Telstra Corporation, higher by 2.4%, ANZ Banking Group up 5.6%, Fortescue Metals down 3.2%, Mirvac Group higher by 3.5%, and Alumina up 2.3%. The 5 best performers were ANZ Banking Group higher by 5.6%, Blackmores up 5.5%, Seven West Media higher by 5.1%, Lease Group up 4.9%, and McMillan Shakespeare higher by 4.8%. The 5 worst performers were Beach Energy down 7.7%, Fortescue Metals down 3.2%, Western Areas lower by 3%, Iron Mountain down 2.7%, and Santos down 2.5%. The Australian dollar is lower in today's session, closing down 0.5% to 76.27 US cents. Spot gold is higher by 0.5% or $7 to $1,303 US dollars, and crude oil is higher in today's session, up 40 cents or 0.85% to $45.18. This has been the Australian Stock Market Closing Report for Tuesday the 3rd of March 2016, and I've been your host, Aaron First. I'll see you again next time.